evening and welcome to the Thad Max News Report. It is stardate 4/7/2020. We're joined this evening by Mr. Ferret Troglodyte, formerly with Trinity Transport. He is a supply line logistics expert, and he will be informing us all we need to know about getting PPE to the right people. We're also joined by Dr. Bleeder McFucknuts. He's a public policy analyst. We're also joined in Arlington, Texas, barely by Dr. Drew Benjamin. And finally, an intern at Our Lady of Perpetual Motion Hospital in Dallas, Wango Z Tanga. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon.
It's good to be here.
Why don't we kick things off with you, Mr. Troglodyte, and tell us, given your history in the transportation business, what do we have to learn from the current challenges, and what have you heard about this war between the states attempting to get personal protective equipment?
Well, I don't know if you heard the news today, but there was a murder at the local pilot in Tennessee, and people are just going nuts. They're losing their minds.
Well, we are the news today, so thank you for helping us make the news today, Mr. Trog. So will these difficulties in state governments getting what they need lead to a new civil war? And if so, will you be wearing blue or gray?
My ancestors wore the gray, and I reckon I'll follow in their footsteps.
You're currently in DC, so technically I suppose you would remain neutral.
Well, I kind of straddle that Mason-Dixon line, but I'll stay neutral as long as it protects my hide. Fair
enough. Dr. McFucknuts, that is a hell of a name, by the way, Dr. McFucknuts.
Thank you.
You've been second in command to a number of administrators who were promoted beyond their competence. What is your take on the current commander-in-chief of this nation?
First of all, you're not shitting. And second of all, my perspective on the current commander in charge of this nation is that I think on a daily basis he considers whether or not he can completely fuck something up, and then he goes just beyond that and tries greatly to fuck things up. In the sense that he not only is failing miserably, but is managing to make it all about himself.
Fair enough, but follow-up question, won't Jared Kushner fix all of this?
Jared Kushner?
Well, I think I can speak to that question.
Oh, yeah.
Given his extensive medical background and encyclopedic knowledge of all things to do with human physiology, there's no question he is by far the least qualified individual to ever head any sort of medical committee in the history of medical committees.
And again, that's young intern Wango, who works with hospital staff, mostly mopping floors.
Arlington has a question.
I'd like to point of fact, I believe that I would be worse in that role than Jared Kushner. So he's the next to the last worst person in the role.
Excellent, Dr. Benjamin. My next question was for you anyway. How can we harness this essential workforce that's still out there, hard at work, to make sure when the pandemic is over, none of us ever have to return to work ourselves?
Well, what I always say, the difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits.
And is that covered in your book, Stop Treating Your People Like People, A Guide to Mastery and Management?
Yes.
Fantastic. So, young Wango, how are you enjoying the privileges of your internship there at Our Lady of Perpetual Motion Hospital?
Internship is delightful. I'm working, how many hours are there in a week?
1.
Yeah, I think I'm working, 197 hours a week.
And are you using the same
You happen to catch me in my
PPE in
free
all those hours?
You caught me in my free 15 minutes, at which time I am consuming multiple adult beverages.
I thought you were only 20 years old.
Last time I checked. Am I 20? I thought I was 19. Dr. Benjamin, check on that. Get back to me.
It's never stopped us before.
Well, young Wango, have the doctors and nurses, who I'm sure you admire
Is
very
John
much, offered
19?
any insights we should know about?
Yeah, stay the fuck home.
That's it?
Yep,
Good advice.
and drink.
Back to you, Mr. Troglodyte. What would be your plan to get ventilators to the places that need them most around the country?
Just call them and tell them never mind, because it's all gone to shit anyway. Or we're saving the ventilators for the hospitals, and people at home can just kiss their ass goodbye.
Fair enough.
If I may, I believe the plan right now is to sell ventilators to foreign countries who need them. Generally speaking, my understanding is that the way this is administratively being handled is fuck the Americans.
So the national stockpile of ventilators is going overseas.
Absolutely. Once he enacted the Defense Protective Act, the idea was to get corporations to provide ventilators so that President Trump could be a hero to foreign nations, because once again, he's really only playing to about 35% of the American public, and beyond that.
Well, I'm going to cut in there and say that since a significant portion of our population did vote for our current president, they are too stupid to live and therefore do not deserve a ventilator.
Dr. Benjamin, you seem to want to chime in on that.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask if Dr. Wango has a ventilator at his house.
Yes.
I'm good then. I don't care about all those other motherfuckers. I know where he lives.
A
Thanks.
cautionary
I got this
note,
little
Benjamin.
Y connector that I use for a tube. You know, I sometimes use it for enemas, but we can use it for your ventilator as well. So we'll just stick a branch off to it and just ram it down your airway. You'll be good.
I have some asthma inhalers, but I use them for huffing.
Mm.
Dr. McFootnotes, I've heard that the most recently acknowledged symptom of COVID-19 is a bloody nose. Are you worried?
Oh, he's going there.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I'm fucked.
That would be cause for concern, depending on
Yes,
who
absolutely.
it was with.
Yes.
Dr. Benjamin, I understand your wife works with SAG-AFTRA. Do you have an estimate on when all the available programming will run out and we'll be left with Andy Griffith?
Yeah, last Wednesday.
Sorry, did you just imply that we are running out of Netflix? We are all out of Netflix?
I watched all of the Netflix over the weekend. There's nothing more. There is vacuous mind-eating crap which you can feed on, like
Tiger King.
naked. Right, exactly. You can sit there like the end of Dodgeball, sit on the couch, fatty made of funny.
I would be remiss not to mention that the Pixar flick Onward has a gelatinous cube in it, which I thought some of you might find interesting.
I will give them props for that, but
yes.
that was a very depressing movie. And having two boys, it was just like that movie tried to stab me through the heart multiple times for an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm not interested in watching that again.
And intern Wango, this would mean you began having children at 17, if my math is correct?
14.
And finally, intern Wango, do you like tigers? And are you worried about those at the Bronx Zoo?
One of those kids is mine, by the way. So
you heard it here first.
I am not worried about the tigers in the Bronx Zoo.
Well, have you watched Tiger King?
They're from the Bronx. They're tough, and yeah, the Tiger King is doomed.
I would rather shit and fall in it than watch Tiger King.
need to be
Joe
very
Exotic.
careful right now.
What was that, Mr. Trog?
Free Joe Exotic.
Be very careful right now.
Hmm.
That was a dark
Dr.
whisper.
Benjamin, do you have what you need there in Arlington? Are you experiencing delusions?
In gallery view, Dr. Benjamin, it looks like you're turning and whispering into Ferret's ear. So it's
Is it?
actually
It does.
That's what I was going for, except mine was Todd. But
yeah.
at any rate, interesting tie-in there. Right next to the place where I dropped my UPS packages in the 80s, there was a pet shop. This is about a mile from my house, and that's where the Tiger King got his start. Tiger Claw, Tiger Bastard. Anyway, got his start before he moved to Oklahoma and started selling illegal animals. So, right here in Arlington, Texas.
Tremendous insight on what's most important to our society right now. Thank you, Dr. Benjamin. What we're going to do in Around the Horn to wrap up this segment,
It sounded like sarcasm.
I just want to find out from each of your areas of expertise, what would each of you want to offer the world or American public as it relates to this trying time? Dr. McFucknuts.
My sincere apologies for the American leadership or rather the lack of American leadership and inability to help at all.
And do I detect that it is your intention whenever the Democratic National Convention convenes through whatever means to put your hat in the ring for nomination?
Absolutely, because actually, if we could somehow dress up the actual coronavirus and run it, I believe it would do a better job.
It certainly has the media coverage to have name
Yes,
recognition.
absolutely, yes.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Even 19-year-olds get it, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm.
Intern Wango, any last words?
A blood alcohol level of 0.75 and up has been shown to kill the coronavirus, as far as you know.
This would mean you were at spring break in Florida.
It's still alive. Proof.
All right, Mr. Troglodyte, any final words on shipping?
Yes, do your best to stay away from truck stops because they are unsafe at the moment. But if you do find yourself stuck at one, be sure and shack up with a trustworthy lot lizard because they know how to protect themselves.
Are they, let me ask you, is a truck stop safe at any moment?
As long as you are under the protection of a good lot lizard that you can trust, just hide your cash.
Suck the chrome off a tailpipe, too.
All right, Dr. Benjamin, looks like you get the last word. Try to top lizards.
There's a lady who knows all that glitters isn't gold, and she's buying a Stairway to Heaven.
Words to live
Damn.
by. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate your time today.